Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Simon Wright. I'm the Director of Programming at Japan House London. And welcome to this event in conversation with Ochiai Yōichi, Sustainable Media Art and the Legacy of Minakata Kumagusu. This special talk for Japan House London is held as part of the Japan Cultural Envoy program of the Japanese Agency for Cultural Affairs. Before we start, let me just run through a few notes for you to be aware of. Please note that your microphone and webcam will be disabled for the entire duration of the event if you are joining us on Zoom. Please use the question and answer feature to type your questions for the presenters at any time throughout the session. If you do not want your name to be attached to your question, you can send it anonymously. Questions will be collated by Japan House moderators, and a selection will be answered live at the end of the event. But please do note that we may not be able to answer all of your questions during the session. The contents of this event will also be streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn, where a recording will be archived later. So excitingly today, our event is broadcast live from 3 different time zones. From London, from Japan House, where I am, from Akihabara in Tokyo, in Japan, and from Marblehead in Massachusetts, in the United States of America. For this event, Japanese media artist Ochiai Yōichi introduces himself and Minakata Kumagusu, the Japanese author, biologist, naturalist, and ethnologist who lived in the United Kingdom for his studies in the late 19th century. In his presentation, Ochiai-san unravels the influence of the ideas of Minakata and his contemporaries on the arts and considers new possibilities for a sustainable society. After the presentation, Ochiai-san is joined in conversation with Professor Nicole Coolidge-Romanier. And finally, there will be an opportunity for the speakers to answer a selection of questions submitted by today's attendees. So please do send in your questions using the Zoom Q&A function throughout. So I would now like to introduce our guest chair for today, that is Professor Nicole Coolidge-Romanier. Nicole, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a great pleasure to have you once again working with us at Japan House, despite the fact that we are across either side of a big ocean.
Well, thank you so much, Simon. And I have to say that as Ochiai-san is going to show us, we're all going to be digital nomads. So we're in the future now. This is great. This is perfect and it's appropriate. And I'm very, very delighted to introduce Ochiai Yōichi.
Thank you. So let me just introduce maybe for our viewers a little bit about you actually as well. Oh. Of course, it's no coincidence that we've asked you to chair this. So thank you so much. For those of you who may not know Professor Romanier, she is the founding director and currently the research director of the Sainsbury Institute and professor of Japanese art and culture at the University of East Anglia in Norwich. She published Vessels of Influence, China and the Birth of Porcelain in Medieval and Modern Japan with Bloomsbury Academic in 2012, and translated Professor Tsuji Nobuo's A History of Art in Japan with Tokyo University Press in 2018. She is also the author of a number of important exhibition catalogues. So Professor Romanier was until recently the IFAC Handa Curator of Japanese Art at the Department of Asia in the British Museum and was the lead curator for the Kazari exhibition in 2002, which was held at the British Museum, and also at the Japan Society in New York City, for Crafting Beauty in Modern Japan in 2007 at the British Museum, and the City exhibition Manga, also held at the British Museum in 2019. And it's a great, great honor. Thank you very much, Nicole. I will pass you over to introduce Ochiai-san, and I look forward to seeing you at the end of this session. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Simon. I'm incredibly excited to introduce Ochiai Yōichi. He came over to the manga exhibition, and I just felt an immediate synergy with him. Also, I've been a big fan of his work for a long time, and I feel that what we're going to see today is revelatory, and I think it's going to change. What he's doing is as a modern day Kumagusu, is showing us maps of the future that are actually happening in real time, and it's so important. He's born in 1987. Ochiai received his PhD in applied computer science from the University of Tokyo's Graduate School of Interdisciplinary Information. He is an associate professor at the University of Tsukuba, where he is also head of the Center for Digital Nature. He is the principal investigator for the JST CREST Cross Diversity Project, and has received Super Creator, Genius Programmer titles from Information Technology Promotion Agency, Japan, as well as being the president of Pixie Dust Technologies. In his spare time, he creates, and it's amazing. I don't see how he has any spare time, but in spirit, he is basically a modern day Kumagusu, but he has the advantages of working in between and beyond systems, something that Kumagusu could not or would not tolerate. They also share a love of cats, of natures of all form, and in this pluri-universe. And Ochiai has made incredible contributions and innovations to the arts and sciences by capturing, translating, and creating systems that we'll all be using in the near future for a sustainable future. He has created experimental works that satisfy and provoke, such as in 2019 at the Miraikan, the National Museum of Emerging Science and Innovation. He created the permanent exhibition, Digitally Nature, Naturally Digital, exploring the liminal space between human and digital experience, new nature, AI. More recently, and something I really love and wish I could have experienced, is his, in the flesh, is his Pura'an tea house made of recyclable plastic model parts in 2021 for the Gunpla Recycle Project Bandai initiative to make the world's first plastic model parts through chemical recycling. His tea house had a digital hanging scroll, which fluctuated, and everything was textural, including the Black Raku tea bowl. Ochiai has received numerous awards, including a World Technology Award in 2015, the Prix Ars Electronica 2016, a 2019 South by Southwest Creative Experience Arrow Award, MIT Technology Review Innovators Under 35 Japan, and more. His work explores the intersections between images and materials, nature and computers, and freely crosses the boundaries of computer science, applied physics, and media art. We're in for a treat today. Ochiai-san, please. Look forward to your presentation.
Thank you so much for introducing me. Hi, nice to meet you again. Actually, manga exhibition is really a good, precious moment for me in staying in London. Actually, that was really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for the introduction me. So I'd like to share the screen. So wait a second. So yes, let me. Sorry. Could you see my slide? Okay. Is it okay? I cannot hear anything.
Yes, I can see it. I can see it.
Got it. Yes, let's go. Thank you for coming, and so I like to start my presentations. So actually, I'm doing the Japanese Cultural Envoy, and also actually I'm really interested in how to think about the between like Kumagusu and also like 19th century or 20th centuries, like London or England, and also the like what kind of the like a culture, like communication between the abroad and also the Japanese culture. It made like a 20th century's culture, and also the what affected him, and also the what I affected from the this like a cultural achievement that he gets from the air itself in the like a 19th century or 20th centuries like Europe cultures. So I'd like to start my presentation with my little introduction of my permanent exhibition in the Japanese Miraikan. Miraikan is a science museum in the Odaiba, like in Tokyo. Actually, Nicole-san introduced these exhibitions. Actually, that is between the overlaps from the naturally digital and also the digitally natural. It means actually in our our real world, we have two digital things. One is in computational things in the silicon-like computers, and also ourselves or any biological organs such like humans or cat or dogs or everything have a digital process in the neural network and also the its DNA and also and so on. And also because of that, I'm really interested in the what is the digital itself and also what is the digital nature. It means we have a original nature that is we live in, and also that we have a gravity. And however, really accelerating the expanding of the digitally simulated world or metaverse or network societies or ubiquitous computing or everything have a large amount of the simulated world. And also these computational resources, like from the human side or biological side or like a real world side, and also the simulated world will be get merged in the near future. Actually, that is my concept of the how will be the digitally natural and naturally digital will come together or will get merged. So I have a question about of that. Then I'm doing the research on the how to what's in the computer simulation do the how to solve in the software side or how to do the a physical experiment in the real world. So actually, I'm really exploring between the boundary, these images and also the matters. So today I'd like to rethinking on talking about the sustainable media and the legacy of the Minakata Kumagusu, and also so I'm doing the artist as a acting as a media artist, and also my origin or my roots or my the center of my heart have deep deep thinking about the media itself. So because of that, I'm really interested in how to do in the computer science can do, which update our view of the humanities, our view of the cultures, or what can end of the technology will be updated our media equipment or computational resources or computational environments. So then actually I'm doing the materializations or transformation is one of the key thema of my expressions, which means actually transformation in itself in the digital it is really easy. It means other data you can change a JPEG to the PNG or actually your Photoshop file to something, or you can convert the image to the 3D printed object or 3D printed object towards 3D scanned object. Or this kind of the transformation itself is really easily doing in the digital side. However, the physical side is really hard, making the using the stones or China or wood. Actually, it is really hard because of we have a gravity. So because of that, I'm really interested in how the digital nature will do or making what kind of the whole craft on the digital nature. So actually, I happen to interested in mingei. It means folk art in Japan. That is almost 100 years ago, Japanese philosopher Yanagi Muneyoshi, he doing the exploration of the folk art in Japan, and also the thinking about the philosophy, what kind of the animating philosophy in its daily lives, or how it get merged in the Buddhism in that culture. So because of that, I'm really interested in, so what kind of these current 100 years Buddhism or folk art philosophy get make these now get involved in our perspective of the Japanese style or Japanese philosophy. So because of that, I'm really interested in the Minakata Kumagusu. He is like a large large effect towards like one this age's culture. So I'd like to start to present digital nature. So actually, I introduced the permanent exhibitions of the Miraikan. So digital nature itself is the terms I described at this age. That means digital technology has spread to the domain of the physicality. So to our body, or we can access everything in our body or our all space. So rather than creating by the name ubiquitous computing, it means computing is some kind of a domain which is using like computer or just doing something. So please imagine like Apple computer and the Apples. That is a large difference between two names of the company. Then actually, so we have to, or it is like a time to rethink about the computing is one of the nature. So it means like new nature is established or developed or reborn, which digital technologies or digital itself get merged into physical nature. So digital nature is being constructed in near future and also already started to transform in real world. So actually, I'm doing as a role of the media artist, so working as making the installations such using the LED or rotating display or transparent display. And also this is my current work that is exhibited almost 10 months ago. So which is on the Roppongi Hills. Roppongi Hills is largest building in the Roppongi. And also that is 250 meters high, in a Tokyo sky view called this is a good perspective. And also I set almost a 20 meters transparent display, which is set as large display installations. And however, it looks transparent and also it pervasive or it get immersive in our physicality side. So actually, that is one of the I deeply think about. These kind of the perspectives or digital images or this digital presence now get pervasive or get more physical side of our recognition or our physicalities. Then actually, as an artist, I'm using a butterfly motif in many times in these kind of the installations. Because of I'm really interested in what kind of the Japanese ancient, not Japanese, but however, the Asian ancient philosophy, which is for example, this is some poet of the Soshi. Soshi is they are Chinese ancient philosopher. This is a very famous poet, which is called Butterfly Dream. It means once upon a time, so Chanzi dreamed a butterfly, and in the dream, he is all intent and the purpose it was a butterfly. However, he just wake up and also he found himself as a man. However, what is the difference between I'm dreaming about the butterfly or butterfly just dreaming about me? So he think about between a man and the butterfly, there is a necessarily distinction between two things. Then the tradition is called the transformation of material things. That is interesting. So I often use this term, the transformation of the material things, as a concept of my digital expressions. So this is one of the last year's summer I exhibited with my some creative teams, and also every year I'm doing the concert with the Japanese Philharmonic Orchestra, and also this year we have a concert in the Suntory Hall in the Akasaka in close to the Roppongi, and also this is called the Fermentation Monarchies. That is which is like showing and also morphing and also transforming its shapes. However, it is high resolutions, also the high contrast or high brightness LED, which is like a state-of-the-art LED, which is water resist, and also it is like almost a 1.2 millimeter pitch. Actually, that is a really high resolutions. So because of that, that is like really interesting for the just not humans. Actually, like everyone like just take a walk around here, and also someone have a dogs or someone have like other pets or like many birds crossing to there. They really feel something there because of this like a large display and also the high contrast, some changing in the like physicality side. It really affects not only for the humans but also for the other animals. I think that this kind of like physicality in the like a digitally pervasive situations. I think that will be change something. So I often this like wabi-sabi culture. I inherited from this culture. It means like wabi-sabi is Japanese ancient beauty style, which means like rough and random decadence, which is a wabi. That is like sometimes you just fix the broken china or just fix or something, and also using the like gold and called kintsugi. I think this kind of like rough and random decadence is Japanese like traditional beauty style, and also like forms appearing by time that calls means sabi. Sabi means like needs time to appear the nature or like fundamental things in from that object. This is a totally animating philosophy, and also the beautiful. I often translate into the like language into the like digital nature age. It means like the beauty found in the harmonization process of the unstableness between the complexity and simplicity through the iteration towards the natures. Actually, like in the physical world, we have 4 seasons in a year. How in the digital world we can do that like almost 1 giga times second, like by doing the like simulations or something. Actually, this kind of the iteration itself have like to how to invoke or how to realize or how to look into the fundamental beauty in the like time and space, and also the wabi-sabi is one of the culture. This kind of the iteration invokes the iteration opens up the beauty itself. So then Minakata Kumagusu is a famous researcher in like slime mold or farms, and so actually he's doing the a lot of things like researching about the folk art or like researching about the folks or doing the just collecting slimes or writing the paper in the nature. Actually, he's like one of the record holder of the top published authors in the nature magazines, and then nature journals. So actually, I'm really interested in like what he actually have a like communication with in that age. That means like Daisetsu Suzuki. He's like a well-known Japanese Buddhism researchers, also philosopher. Or actually, he is in the United States in this age, and also Minakata Kumagusu have like jobs and also doing the like in the British Museum. He's doing some part-time job, and also the making the connections, also doing the discussion a lot of the people, and also researching the many books or collecting and also writing something there. And then actually this kind of the like communication between the like Dogi Horyu, he's a famous Buddhist in the Koyasan's temple, and also these kind of the networks between the like in the of the Japanese in the outside of the Japan. Actually, that affects something for the Kumagusu and something for the Daisetsu, and also I think something happened here. And actually, I'm interested in the why he doing like Japanese affects Japanese folklore. Also, actually, after he returned to the Japan, he is like focusing more on the like sustainability or sustainable society, and also thinking about what kind of the like forest ecosystems, or and then what kind of the forest ecosystem like corresponding to the like a Japanese shrine or Japanese temple, or these local networks of the nature ecosystem is really like connecting to the like a human nature or human cultivating something, and also the like religious things, and also local culture, and also the each biological species connecting and also affecting together. So that is a really cutting edge, and also the state of the art philosophy of that age of the people, such like it is really hard because of the ecology, and also the connecting to the like religious things, and also connecting to more biological things, and also and the human nature together. I think that is really interesting, and also the background of this philosophy. It is really I think that is the importance of the like British Museum, because of he collecting from the western side and the eastern side together, and also the biological things, and also literature together. I think that everything gonna be mixed, and also everything have a like a nice like a state of the art or some art or human natures. Actually, that affect him. I believe that this kind of mixture will change him. And also that affects the Japanese culture in this 100 years. So after 80 years, actually 190, the beginning of the 20th century, he doing something in the UK. And so actually this tonight, this presentation, the second theme is I'm focusing on Namjoon Paik, who is a media artist born in the Korea, not Korea, born in China, and also growing in Japan, and also he doing the great work in the United States, and also he is originally from Korean, and also this is a nice like essay or a nice like actually paper or some journal in the 1980s that called the random access informations, and also but this is a interesting like essay, and also in the bottom part I highlighted in the red sentence, red words. So actually he says before that we started cultivating the agricultures, and we are hunting, and and also we walk around for like 20 miles to 20,000 miles per 2,000 miles every year. So then they cannot bring any like piece of art, and also they can bring only the software in the brain, such like a poet or dance or like songs or something. And however, after the agriculture, we are just living the like same place, and also after that we started to using the cars or consumptions of the oil resources, then making the carbon oxide to the air, and also he says that like it is so ridiculous systems. However, to reduce the oil consumption, actually transforms the world in this age. It's like to reduce the carbon dioxide emissions. So we need to move our ideas without moving our bodies at all. So then he said it as a stationary nomad, just stay here and electrically goes somewhere all over the world. So actually, like 42 years later, now we have a stationary nomad. Thus we are here. I'm Akihabara, someone in the UK or someone in the United States, and also the guys from all over the world here. some presentation or discussions. I think that is really a fascinating idea, that long-lasting things. And also, he stated like a painting in the next century most likely be the electrical wallpapers that can be programmed to be very complicated and or very simple. It means like everything like as an infrastructure, there is many like wallpapers which is like electrically controlled. So, actually we have so now. Like as a media artist, I'm doing like a digital art using LED or LCD or transparent display or large display monitors. That is like becomes more like electric as a wallpaper or like installations. And so actually like interesting things because of I'm doing the like NFT art in current like almost last year I'm expressed NFT art. Actually NFT art is one of the like electrical painting, which is like Namjoon Paik stated, like that can be transformed easily to one's wallet to wallet. Actually, Namjoon Paik says it's a wallpaper from here to there. However, the NFT is one of the kind of the like easily to connect or easily to send or receive the art. I think that is interesting. And this art is originally I made it with like physical installations. That is called silver floats, and also after that I made like some installation doing this structure, which is like a wave shaped structure, and also the 3D printed silver float object, which is carefully designed to floating in the air with the magnetic levitations, and also it reflects the circumstances with like such like motion pictures, like images or videos, and also it will be change the scenery and also the mediating scenery. I'm affected from the like Buddhism culture, which is called money hoils, which is like using the money hoil just turn and also the rotating. This is the same meanings to say the Buddhism's mantras. And that is like interesting things, like floating or rotating or and changing scenery is one of the like way to have like Buddhist circumstances or Buddhist perspective which generated in the digital age. So then I capture the sculpture towards like a digital video using the old lenses and transforming to the digital data and going into the NFT digital world. And also after that, in this year, I have exhibitions. So last week, closed that exhibitions. So however, I ended that exhibitions. I placed with a high contrast LED and also the original object floating in the air, and also these like NFTs physically placed, and actually really high contrast and really glittered. And I think that is really interesting side because of the in the NFT actually see the LCD. I think that is not quite interesting. However, with a high contrast LED, I think that is really fascinating. So then actually, why I'm interested in these kind of Buddhist things. So this is like Muneyoshi Yanagi's like a state, Doko tote mite no mana kanaru. It means like everything is a center of the Buddha's hand. So that is I think one of the this is state ecosystems or animating philosophy or something like Zen culture or something. Actually, last year I have an exhibition in Daigoji. Daigoji is an old temple which have like almost 1,100 years history, and also it have a nice mandala, and also I have I printed with a platinum print. Platinum print is a old photography way which lasting long years because of it is really tough to the environmental change, and also. This is one of the precious moments that is a collaboration with that is a Buddhist, and also they have like a mantra towards this environment. And also I placed the electrical display into that, which is a forest. Forests disappeared by the large typhoon 2 years ago. Then I placed electrically regenerated forest without mass, actually without like gravity. Actually, that is one of the my homage to the Joseph Beuys or Namjoon Paik's age. They built like a social sculpture or social plastic in the German. So it means like how to generate like creative activities in the society, and also the to build the forest or to place the plant is one of the important roles that Joseph Beuys stated as that so on. And also in this age to reduce or the carbon dioxide or to think about the stationary nomad or to think about what kind of digitally presence will with harmonize the environment. I placed this kind of the electrical installation there. So actually, I stated about the like a Buddha, which is like transformations, and also Jijimuge. Jijimuge is end-to-end transformation. It means like a Kegon's Buddhism's word, and also. I just chosen this is deep learning's first images that is shows a cat image, and also before these conversations, Nicole-san introduced me the Nekogusu. Nekogusu is like a manga books from Shigeru Mizuki, Japanese grand manga master, and also he wrote it story of the Minakata Kumagusu as Nekogusu. With Nekogusu is the name of the cat with him, and actually Nekogusu and him and doing the like environment, save the environment, or to doing the like collecting the molds or collecting the slimes. Or actually that is a really nice manga. So please keep and watch something. And then actually I really affected from the like Kumagusu's like a philosophy that is, he's stated something, and actually I stated the digital nature almost 4 years ago, and so that is focusing on the what kind of the perspective of the nature with digitally things. So then, to think about the like in the circumstances covered with the fog, and also the you have a car navigation with a car, and also the like almost 30 years ago, we cannot believe we can drive in that situation in high speed. However, we have a Google Maps or we have car navigation system with a GPS. Actually, we trust the sensor data than our like a site. Actually, the trustness of or faith of the our toward the digital environment. I think that is one of the like super. Actually, that is really changed from the age to age. So that is interesting things. Like actually, every species connected together, like philosophy of the Kumagusu Minagata. So like dolphin is like almost an internet native sound, and the dogs have like geotag native of the farm doing something. So it is like same structure that is close to the concept that's the well umelt, which is like suggested from the like a German biological philosopher Yukuskier. And also there is a many metaverse research in the human side, which is a roachverse with cockroaches with digital environment, which is like a 360 views. And also this I called it bird bus. However, that is one of the artwork with Austin Stewart, and also I said really interesting 2014's work, and also this one is a dog bus. Actually, I just get from the internet, and also this is a actually like a crowdfunding project like a cat bus, and also this is a Torahiko, my cat name, and this is Torabus, and also this is a Navas, and also actually the blinded person will see the blind bus without visual expression. However, the sound is more plenty than the usual metaverse. Then what's thinking about this kind of world or multiverse will be or should be? Actually, Kumagusu doing the ecosystem or to preserve the environmental things. Actually, for me, almost like 10 years ago, actually I think about that. Also, keep the environment, that is good, or sustainability. That's nice. However, to think about the multiverse with sustainability, actually that is more because of the how to think about the many perspectives of the biological things together. To think about what a bird will think over, what a chicken will think about that or something. Actually, that is one of the new, not new. However, that is one of the perspectives between the enlarged towards any sensations, any materials, any biological species, or these things is now interesting for that. So today I introduce with from the Kumagusu's culture and with Namjoon Paik's stationary nomad, and then we have to think about the sustainability from now on, and also that is really Kumagusu doing the Buddhism culture, and also actually for the finish, I'd like to present one of my work. Actually, Nicholas stated about the plan. This is called plan. This is my artwork using the runner means this out of the frame of the gampura and collecting that and recycle that and also the collecting from the old Japan, and that is a really nice scenery between the new nature after the human. However, we have a plastic. Actually, plastic is really avoided from this age. However, by collecting them and doing them, this is a new nature naturally looks and will change our perspectives. So actually, in the local ecosystem of the forest ecosystems or tea culture, recycling everything and keep it for a long time. Actually, with local circumstances by connecting together, that is stated with Kumagusu. And actually, there's kind of a sustainability needed for the Japanese local cultures. So finally, I'd like to present this is my one of the planning the sculpture for the 2025 Expo held in Osaka. The theme is life is most concept of the Expo of the Osaka. I'm doing the signature pavilion producer of the 2025 years Expo. I'm doing reinventing two mirrors. One is for the digital humans, and the second is doing the mirrored structure that is which is a deformable sculpture or structure of the pavilion itself. So actually, how will we doing these kind of environment ecosystems connecting together in the digital age, and how will we transform the each spirit, humanity, or our physicality in the digital age as digital humans, or a physical ways, transforming some digital perspectives. So I'd like to finish my talk with so actually this kind of to think about each perspective or each species to share the perspectives, or to think about many multiverse or views of the each ideologies or each perspectives, or respecting together is now really important in this age. And also to think or rethinking of the Kumagusu, I think that this kind of the philosophical way or biological way or folk art way, actually these kind of things become together in this age. Then finally, I'd like to introduce you. Actually, ImageNet opens up the century of the cat, and also the cat bus, and also Nekogusu is really nice. Then also please think about the Minakata Kumagusu with manga culture with music skill. So thank you so much. And this is the final slide of my presentation.
Thank you so much, Ochiai-san. That was absolutely brilliant.
Actually, 5 minutes over. So thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you.
It was completely worth that extra 5 minutes. It's fantastic. And it just shows why this talk is so important, why what you're doing is so important. You're showing us the kind of these spaces that we're transitioning into that you've already envisioned and you're already acting upon, but it's something that we need to recognize because, as you said, sustainability is everything. It's so incredibly important. And what I really love about, there are many aspects and many things I want to talk to you about, but a little bit about what you were saying about faith, trust. It's about trust in the digital world instead of holding it with suspicion, to really embrace it and go forward with it. And in that, I'd like to ask just at which you're doing, and you're also showing how we can do it. But this can actually make our futures better. This can actually connect us. We can be stationary nomads without loss of sensation, experience, and connectivity. Connectivity experience is so important. What we've learned in the pandemic, as you know, is that there's, certainly in America, there's a lot of mental unwellness from mental health issue problems, particularly with young people, because of being isolated. And what you're showing us is that that's actually fallacious, that we can be interconnected, but we have to do it responsibly. And I want to ask just a few things about your talk, but then hopefully we can, I wish we had more time to talk, but first of all, I just wanted to mention, because your comments about Suzuki Daisetsu earlier with Kumagusu, I know that Edward Sylvester Morse, who I've been studying a lot, and he was about the same time as, a little bit earlier than Suzuki Daisetsu, but he was at Tokyo Imperial University in 1877, so right at the beginning. And he was introducing Darwinian thought to students at Imperial University. He specifically stated that he felt that it was very easy to teach Darwinism to Japan and to Japanese students because of Buddhist concepts. He felt that Buddhist concepts resonated with that. And
with biological species together and species to species animating philosophy. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, and then ask your opinion about that, but also ask about the animating principle. Is there an animating principle in the pluriverse?
Actually, that is really important for the digital side and the physical side, because of the ancient people, before the agriculture, such like hunting something, or actually, you stated in the manga exhibition, actually Ainu culture is more animating philosophy principles, because of the to think about the bears, or to think about the many other species. And then actually Ainu culture is inherited from the almost the hunting age, almost 30,000 years, actually really long. And however, in that age, more have an empathy to the other resources. It means a forest, mountain, or other species. And also, interesting thing, Japanese terms of kami means sometimes translated to God. Actually, however, the Motori Norinaga, who is Japanese cultural historical legends in the almost 19th century or 17th century or 18th century, and then he researching in ancient age, everything get kami. So actually, a kaminari is a thunderbolt, and also the kami is a god, and also tatarigami is a tatari god. Actually, that is, you can see the Princess Mononoke. That is looks like some monsters. And however, actually, just kami is just cool, or just huge, or just or large or something. And then that is emotions, and also the worship, and also empathy, and also the corresponding to the other lives, or sympathy is more close together without any literature or any word, any character because of the invention, before the invention of the characters, there is like a more large connections. But actually, these kind of things really affected Japanese local animistic structures. And also, I love Daisetsu, and also he stated that is Reisei. Reisei is actually that is really difficult to translate in English. However, the spirituality and also sensation to the everything, and also like the spiritual nature of the which is fundamental idea in the every object and every species. I think that is things say the Reisei. And so I love the concept that is Reisei. That is really strongly connected to the animistic view of the ancient Japanese culture. Yeah, and that affects me in the digital side.
That's fantastic. And in your answer, you've pointed us out in ways that we really need to understand. We're talking about the sustainable future. We're talking about being a digital nomad, but what you're highlighting is the kind of the animating principle, or what with the kami, how it links us together, and how it gets activated through empathy. And
yes,
and
yeah,
through,
because of the is using the words, just trees imaging the tree, just not the 140 characters. Actually, that is just divided together.
Exactly. It's perfect. And what I think also you're highlighting is sensory. So information is not just coming through our words. Information is coming through our feelings,
our bodies,
our emotions,
or
our
sensory,
skin.
or visual, or everything together. Yeah.
So new forms of communication, and it's really about trust, I think, and moving forward to this new world. But what I'd like to ask right here, just specifically, and a small question, but I think it's really important. One of the passions of Minakata Kumagusu, but the passion also of Edward Sylvester Morrison, so many people, is nenkin, slime mold.
Nenkin, yeah.
Slime mold. And in fact, Kumagusu, one of his highlights of his life was giving a lecture on slime mold to the emperor, and actually giving him samples of slime mold that he created. What is the slime mold? What is the nenkin of the pluriverse, of the digital world?
Slimeverse.
It's the slimeverse. Yes. What is the slimeverse, and what is its role, and is it important?
Actually, slime itself is fundamentally reprocessing the physical world, and also the current research, like more small biological guides have just they died, and just to place the biological structure with a chemical after almost 1,000 years, some other slime getting affects something, and then these kind of the communication have go through the really long time, almost 1,000 years, and actually this is a really large connections together slimes, and actually that is really interesting. That is between the life and materials, and also the slimeverse is I think really interesting, because slime has no optical information and no sound information. However, it has the chemical information and also close to the tactiles. And I think that is in the onsen, hot springs, and close your eyes and ears, and also just to taste something. I think that is interesting, not bad. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's really true. It's almost like a form of communication without communication as we know about it. It's a sensory communication.
And also we lack from the teleconference situations. That means Zoom fatigue is lack of the slime sensations.
To combat Zoom fatigue, we need the slimeverse. I want to just, because we're going to have to end this conversation soon, I want to just, I think we have just a couple of questions because time is rolling on, sadly. I just wanted to mention that how brilliant I feel you are to focus in on the British Museum in the late 19th century, and Kumagusu going there, not only did he just do incredible things in the reading room, but he also donated a number of objects, religious objects, various forms of religious objects to the British Museum, and worked with many people about that. But what I think, and I just wanted to ask your opinion about this, and this is also true with Edward Sylvester Morse, with many different people of that period, there was a mixture between science and art. There was not a separation. Science and art, it was all seen as a kind of a continuum. And what I feel now is, with our siloed ideas of science has to be science, we follow the science, you know, well, where is the art? It's almost with science has lost its heart. And what you're doing is bringing back that 19th century frisson of science and art together, making a better future as it was then, but somehow we went wrong. and I just wanted to ask, and you're coming back to the roots and bringing it forward. I wanted to ask if that resonated, or if you have any feelings about that.
Actually, Minakata Kumagusu never thinking about the impact factor of the nature. It means like, actually scientists always think about the impact factor citations, or like top journals or nature fascinating. What? Actually, just Minakata Kumagusu. Okay, just I write the paper, just post it in Nature. Okay, that's nice. I think that is really usual way, or that is like a good circumstances, and also good philosophy. And also, I think this, actually, 20th century makes the scientist job. Actually, science like as a job of the scientist, or like actually scientist is like a living style, lifestyle, or living way, like a Buddhist or Zen, or almost the same things. However, actually like the teacher is a teacher, lecturer is a lecturer, leader is a leader, and also the professor is a professor. And actually 20th century, like it to get to like industry, become industrial things, or go to the silos, or go to the each like past have a large difficulties. And however, I think that like Namjoon Park is really freely across the boundary, and also the I love the media artists in the United States, also Europe, and everywhere. Actually, someone doing the more freely, actually making the like nice things, or benefit, or good product, or nice paper sometimes. And also, don't hesitate to cross the boundaries, and also the let's do the cool things. Actually, that, or let's do the nice things, or just grab the cat. I think that is really nice. Yeah,
it's brilliant. And we have just we need to close off, but I wanted to hold on just 1 second. I wanted to ask one question. It's not from me. This is a question from our audience from Anju, and he says that the discussion sounds like a concept of autopoiesis. And I'm curious that how Ochiai-san sees digital technologies works as instruments that represent life, self, individual ideas. The term autopoiesis, from the Greek auto, self, and poiesis, creation, production, refers to a system capable of reproducing and maintaining itself by creating its own parts. And so it's this kind of almost self-linking, self-sustained movement in itself. What do you feel about that?
Actually, that is one of the really recent research I'm doing now, and I'm actually in the Digital Nature Center, Fiji. Like I'm head of the Digital Nature Center, actually doing research with my colleagues, and so we are now focusing on what is like a formula, or what's the like meta systems, which is like a software, actually software, not software, like a information structure, and also the physical structure. And what is the difference between together, the two things? Then we actually think about these things for like this 6 years or 7 years, actually researching on that, such from the holographic things, metamaterials, and by doing the iterations between the computer side, physical side, then computer side. Then, almost like 3 weeks ago, one paper published in the Nature, Minakata Kumagusu Nature, and yeah, that shows like a formula which is like a optimization cost efficiency of the time and the energy between the like computational simulations and also physical simulation, physical connected like computers. Actually, these kind of the autopoiesis things will thinking with, will connecting with neural things and also the big data things and also the more biological species in the like traditional biology side will get mixed in the next 10 years with a large expanding of the computational resources. I actually bet it on, and also I believe that's future. And I think that will become the more like a freely research or freely like on exploring from the digital side to the physical side. This is everything is gonna be field study. I think that is so nice.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. On that optimistic note, I'm afraid the question and answer session is over.
Please find in the slime in the metaverse, yes. You live close to the metaverse, find the slime there or something.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ochiai-san.
Thank you very much. Goodness me, what a fantastic presentation, Ochiai-san and Nicole. Thank you so much for your insight and for sharing this. Thank you very much, and thank you also to our friends at the Japanese Agency of Cultural Affairs, of course, who have made this happen, and to all our audience, our stationary nomads, who have all been able to join us as well today. Thank you. Just to let you know, if you've been joining, you will receive a feedback questionnaire by email, and if you are able to fill that in, that will help us continue to make events like this. If you will stay with us just for a little while, Ochiai-san and Nicole, while I'd just like to present what we have by chance, Ochiai-san. We have a new library display at Japan House, London. It's Nature and Life in Japan. I actually am able to show you one of the books that we have here. It is Minakata Kumagusu, I think Kinrui Zufu, so an illustrated catalog of fungi.
Yeah, I have in my home, yes.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's full of wonderful illustrations, and I would encourage anybody to visit Japan House so that they can see this display. We also, of course, have our exhibition in the gallery, which is Windowology, Madogaku, New Architectural Views from Japan, exploring how windows are our civilization and culture, and that is until the 10th of April. We also, in connection, have a series of talks which go along with this. One of them is Hashirama Sochi. This is a talk by Nakatani Norihito from Waseda University, The Richness of Space in Japanese Architecture. And that will be on Tuesday, the 22nd of February. And we also have a demonstration, part of the series of Windows on Tea live Chado demonstrations by Tanko Kai UK, the Rosenkei form of tea. And that is happening every week until the 6th of April. And lastly, we have the next in our Chatham House series, Japan-UK Cooperation in Africa, looking ahead at TICAD 8. That's on Thursday, the 24th of February. Once again, thank you very much, Ochiai-san. It's been wonderful that you could join us from the end of your day, a very busy day, I know. Nicole, thank you so much for joining us from the beginning of your busy day. And I look forward to us being able maybe to meet in person next time. And we can continue this conversation. Thank you very much indeed. It's much appreciated, and we're extremely honored at Japan House that you have been able to take part. Thank you very much, and please take care of yourselves. Thank you. Bye-bye.